I'm Richard Twose. I'm a newly adopted strategic dairy farm. We farm Maenhir farm, which is on the Carmarthenshire Pembrokeshire border. It's a 600-acre farm with about a further 100 acres rented. We milk 400 pedigree Holsteins, and we normally run about 200 to 250 followers, replacements then, calving at 2-year-old. It's very much a family-run farm. My wife, Jennifer, and son, Ewan, are involved in the business with my brother and his son, Joseph. Then they're both called Joe. Behind all this is my parents, who are still actively involved in running of the dairy farming. We are on a cheese contract supplying first milk, and have done for the duration then, for many years then. Our milk goes to the Haverfordwest Creamery on a Tesco's contract. Currently we're averaging about 9,006 in terms of litres then, 3.35 to 3.4% protein, and about 4.3% fat. We are all year round calving, but with a sort of a bias for the autumn. We use sex semen and beef. We haven't used any conventional semen here for 4 or 5 years. We were trying to increase the number of heifers and replacements, and not rely on purchased animals as much then. So sex semen fitted the bill. It works especially well with heifers. We had a conception rate of 70% last year on our heifers, which we were very pleased with for the first service. They then run with a beef bull. We have been challenged in the past with Neospora, which is partly the reason we're using sex semen, because we lost a lot of heifer calves and trying to breed down the lines from the cattle, from the cows that weren't effective in Neospora. So we've tackled this head on in as much as we test everything for Neospora as they calve. So we know if they are affected, not to breed those to beef, then those animals to beef. Over the last few years, we have worked a lot at improving cow health and welfare by improving our cubicles, our loafing areas, and extending feeding areas and feeding space. Then there's a constant or continual process of improvement that we're striving to, but all this has to be paid for, and the cows have to pay for this. So it's a matter of balancing it, making it profitable to be able to reinvest back in our business. Feeding is all TMR. We feed no concentrates in the parlour and no concentrates to the dairy cows at all. We use soya as a protein. We have tried rapeseed products, and we've got on really well with them, but the availability of the rapeseed products then for protein was a problem through COVID, in as much as they weren't crushing as much for the diesel demand slumped, and now we are really struggling to get the availability of the rapeseed. We also feed rolled wheat as a starch, and soya hulls for the fibre, and a bit of yeast. And our grazing or housing policy then is that, being in West Wales where we can grow good grass, we try and graze all the cows at least during the day through the summer. This year the low yielders are out both day and night, just having a bit of a buffer feed to get some concentrates into them then after milking, and then turned out. The high yielders are housed in the evening. We've got a track system here as far as grazing is concerned, and we do We've got a 21-day rotation. We carry out quite a few projects, or have over the years then, each winter in terms of fencing and hedge planting. And we're also involved then through the Tesco contract in the carbon auditing and benchmarking through their carbon reduction scheme.